I remember like in college, the start of every year, like the smell of fall. Stream is walking down Nostalgia Street. I'm just a nostalgic person in general. I'm always reminiscing. It's kind of like a bad habit. Well, I don't know. It's just the way I am. I always look back fondly at things. And then I'm like, oh, things were so good back then. But then it's like, things are also good now. And I know I'm going to look back at these times also extremely fondly with tons of nostalgia. It's just, I feel like I'm always thinking like back on things and being like, oh, things were so good back then. But then it's like a cycle. Like even right now, I know in the future I'm gonna look back and be like, things were so good back then. And it's not like things are getting worse either, you know. It's just, I don't know. It's easy to be nostalgic about the past. Maybe it's hard to appreciate the present, but I am very appreciative. I guess nostalgia just adds like another layer. I think it's because you're removed from the situation, so you don't have to feel any of the negatives, you know? Because there will always be negatives, no matter when or where you are. But when you're removed from the situation, it's easier to forget about them, maybe. Like even when I look back, it's like, oh, it was so good back then, but I had problems back then too. Even like when I was in Japan, I found it hard to like fully live in the moment. And like fully appreciate it, you know? Like it kind of felt like almost like a dream. Like I wasn't really there. Like I was experiencing it in like the third person almost. Does that make sense? Yeah, like a bit detached from the moment. But it's hard. It's hard to live in the moment. I don't even know how to do that. Like I was looking around me at like, you know, the beautiful scenery, and I was like, I need to be taking this in more. But how can you take it in more? It's like I need to be appreciating this beautiful view more. Yeah, I did take lots of pictures, and I have been looking at them. It does, it feeds the nostalgia. Then I go, oh, it was so much fun. And it was fun. Not to say that I like wasn't living in the moment at all, but I don't know. It's just like one of those things, you know. Like I think like a lot of the fun of it all was being with my friends, you know, and spending time with them. Because that I felt very grounded with my friends, you know. But it's more like the touristy stuff. I feel like it's hard. It's hard to like fully enjoy it and be in the moment, because I would be like, oh wow, look, I'm in Tokyo, I can see Tokyo Tower, that's amazing, that's incredible. But it's like, how am I supposed to feel about this? Do you guys know what I mean? Yeah, like it feels like surreal. Like it doesn't feel real almost. Like I'm just looking at it and I'm like, I see it. I see it, but I don't feel much more than like, wow, that's beautiful. I don't know what I expect. Maybe my expectations are too high. Like I'm gonna be moved to tears by seeing Tokyo Tower. That's probably not gonna happen. But I don't know. I must vibe harder. Exactly. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. Maybe it is that I'm old. Because I do remember when I was in Paris and like seeing the Eiffel Tower, and I was like, oh, that's the Eiffel Tower. But that was also, I was younger. And it was my first time traveling overseas ever. So everything was very new and crazy. And I don't know, it's like I also just feel like I've watched so much, like so many travel vlogs and just like media about Japan in general, that it's like it was what I expected, you know. Like when you look at those pictures of like Japanese suburbs, you're like, this is so beautiful. And it is beautiful. But then it's like, yeah, it looks just like the pictures. Like a lollipop, riding a flying